Hi guys, hello and welcome to this week's episode of Indie Beauty TV. I'm your host, I'm Rachel Whittaker, and the founder of the Indie Beauty Delivers community, which is kind of a place where all you beautypreneurs can come and hang out, share, network, learn, and just really have a good time. You can find me and that community here on Facebook. I've also got a Facebook group called Indie Beauty Rocks. Also on Instagram, where you get all the behind the scenes stuff. And also you must, if you like what we do here in the Indie Beauty Delivers community, you must pop over to my website and sign up to be a member of my very special email group, where you get a blog every Monday, which is full of amazing content, which I don't share anywhere else. It's just for you special guys. So pop over there and sign up as soon as you can. So today's episode, I'm not on my own, which is always such a treat. I've got a guest, and I've got Justine joining me, and we're going to be talking about the importance that video is playing, the ever-increasing importance that video is playing in your marketing strategies. So we're going to be talking about why video is increasing in its importance, and why you must really be using it. How and where you can use video in your marketing. And also, we know that everybody's a bit scared of the video marketing. So Justina is going to give us loads of tips to give you confidence to kind of walk away from this broadcasting episode feeling like you could go live or do a video. So first off, I'm just going to get Justina to tell us a little bit about her background and why she's here to talk to us about marketing.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Rachel, for that introduction, and hello to the entrepreneurs. Great name. I love that. Before I get started, just a word of warning. I am sharing an office with my dog, and at some point my teenagers will get home from school and the dog will bark. So when that happens, my audio might dip a little bit because it's responsive to loud noises, but then it will return to its usual volume. So please bear with me. It's just this time of day.
No worries. We have dogs and cats here, so one of them is bound to make an appearance or noise at some point.
Excellent. So yes, I am Justine Rosu. You can find me on all social media as Justine Rosu Video. And yes, I am all about creating videos to help you in your business. So I believe video is there to support your business goals. But I've had a career before this, and that career was still involved with filming. I was at the BBC as working in production, working in promotions, working in transmission and program development. I was there from 1992, 93. So I was there for a long time. I saw the transition from analog through to digital. So I've seen many developments along the way. And of course, since I've had my own production company, which has been the last 6 years, I've seen that change in technology and how now it's no longer just the big brands or the highly successful businesses that are turning over and have a marketing and PR budget, but it's actually every business has the ability to have video at zero cost. So the barrier to entry with video now is non-existent. But what does exist is a lot of bad video. So
Yep.
That's the balance, and that's how now you can stand out from the crowd in your videos just by having better video and having video that actually fulfills the purpose and is there to help you in your business rather than just doing video because everyone's doing video and I need to do video. Of course, that's if you manage to do video, or you maybe are someone who's holding back because of well, there's many reasons that you might not have yet got started. But that's a little bit about my background.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we were talking in preparation yesterday for this episode, and we were saying that almost everything around social media and the social media marketing and content marketing on social media platforms is geared towards video, with sort of messenger stories, Instagram Live, Instagram TV, Instagram stories. So there's an increasing need for brands to sort of grab the video bull by the horns, isn't there, Justina?
Yes, there it is completely. And it's no as I kind of alluded to, it's no longer the question of should I do video or not. It's how can I do video more effectively. Video is, I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's his keynote speech that he gave not that long ago. Again, he's talking about how video plays a role in what they're doing, how Facebook are going to be further enhancing how they use video, and between Facebook and Instagram stories video is the one that will get you the most traction. Then the number 2 is live streaming on Facebook. Number 3 is video. So it's right up there. And it's not just Facebook and Instagram. You've seen the introduction now to videos on LinkedIn. So obviously they've had video, they're just a bit slower to take off, and they've had the as live video for a while now, so that's where you still record it and then you can send it straight away, but it wasn't truly live because it wasn't being streamed, it was just very close to being streamed. But now also they do have a true live which is being rolled out, but not just that they have the functionality, but that the algorithms are prioritizing it as well. So there's not one platform that is not prioritizing video. So unfortunately, whatever side of that fence you're on, it's a necessary thing to do, whether you like it or not. So really it's about finding a way to be able to use video that works for you, and then incrementally improving that and getting better at it. But it is everywhere. It's here to stay. It's not going away. So one way or other, it is something that you have to face.
I know. It's a message I keep pushing out there. But I think on the positive side, people are often daunted by video. We're going to talk about that in some detail. But the thing about video, and I know this certainly from experience of doing a lot of live video and the Instagram stories thing, is it's such an effective way to reach out and communicate with people. Far more effective and far faster than endlessly typing posts with static pictures. People respond, don't they, a lot more to video, and they get to know you a lot better and quicker through video.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's the next best thing to meeting someone in person and having that one-on-one, face-to-face discussion that you would in the flesh. The next best thing is seeing that person. So, I mean, what happens is when we are showing up on video is our audience, whether they like it or not, they have no choice because it's a behaviour, they will start to like you wherever they were on that spectrum of liking or not liking you. And observe your own behaviour with this, because I know personally there's entrepreneurs in the space of that I watch who I started off not really liking, and then seeing them showing up on video, and I'm like, oh, actually, I quite like them. So, and that's a human behaviour that we all have. The more, and it has a name. It is called the mirror effect. It's the mirror effect. Was it?
Yeah.
It's the mirror effect. Yes. It's a mere behavioural effect. That the more we see something, the more familiar it becomes, and we like familiar things. So this is why the more you show up on video, making that connection, the more people will like you. Obviously, we know that being right leads to trust, and leads to us passing with our money. So.
Exactly. And I think one of the things around video, and for beauty brands particularly, is this works as well for founders like me and you who sell services, but it works equally as well for founders who have products. I think sometimes beauty brands are a bit reluctant maybe to put themselves out there, because actually it's their products which they think people want to buy. But getting to know the founder through a video is really powerful.
But it goes hand in glove really, because I mean, you think of the Body Shop And how many of us really connected, obviously maybe I'm showing my age now, how many of us connected to the Body Shop because of the work that Anita Roderick was doing at that time, which was very revolutionary. So you think of all of the Virgin brand, synonymous with Richard Branson, and a lot of the allure to that brand is through that founding person and the values that they bring to it. So by showing up as the founder of your product and letting us see some of you, that only enhances people's what's going to draw them to your product, because the values that you have are likely to be the values in the products that you are selling. So you're going to have a mix of both. And the same goes, the more we see a product, I mean, there's tens of millions of pounds that get spent on advertising. I work with, at the moment, I'm working with L'Oreal quite a lot, working on some of their new products, mascaras and foundations. And there's that mixture between the models wearing the product and having that lifestyle that's been associated with that product, and then the product shots as well. So it's, we connect to the values, the lifestyle, the product. So you want to have that mix of video throughout your business and kind of like take your viewer, your potential buyer, through that journey of connection. Because I think I heard this week, in fact, that it used to be that we would have to have, I think it was 7 or 8 touch points in marketing. Now it's 27. Oh. I know, it's huge.
That's the video.
So you can't overdo it. So you want to have those different ways of showing your products. So you might have a video that's a montage of still images that's been created into a video. You might have yourself, demonstrating the product, or you talking about the values that you have and why that product does what it does. Why you've chosen those ingredients, or that's where you source that product from, or who you partnered with. And we buy into stories as consumers, and no more now as no other time before have we as consumers wanted to align ourselves with the values of a product. Millennials, really strong points that works for them, is they will pay more for a product that they feel are aligned with their own their own values. When it comes to the planet, when it comes to their lifestyle, and that permeates through everyone now. It's such an important thing. So you can't underestimate the way that people make their buying decisions now.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, actually. So hello to everybody who's joining us live. It would be wonderful if you just say hello in the comments so I can see who's there. And Justina is here to answer your questions, so please feel free, as she's speaking, to pop questions in the comments and I will get asking those. But thanks very much for joining in. So, Justina, let's have a look at... I've worked with you personally on through a couple of your boot camps and things, and it's been very, very amazing. And there's a couple of things that you've always said which have really stood out. And the first one is about really where you should be using video in your business and how you can use video in your business. So if you wouldn't mind sharing that with us, I think that'd be really useful.
Yeah. Yes, definitely, and I love talking about this. It's one of my favourite aspects to talk about. So I actually call this my video advantage wheel. My other dog has just come in and put me off. Obviously, the door's wide open now, so chaos. Anyway, so it's the video advantage wheel. So if you imagine it as a wheel, and in the middle is strategy. Strategy is really important because you need to work out who you're talking to in your video, why you're talking to them, what action you want them to take, consider where in the buyer's journey they are, so how you're going to talk to them, if they're a cold audience, if they're a warm audience. And then we have your skills, that's the first part of the wheel. But then there are 4 other segments. So those start with searchable. So searchable videos are kind of really the starting point. That's where you want to have videos that will get found somewhere. So whether the most obvious one, of course, is YouTube for beauty products, beauty brands. That's a great place to be seen on because people will search and look for their videos. So it's not just YouTube, it's also Pinterest, another great one for beauty brands. So that's searchable, and of course your website. So you want to have video representation that's bringing in and has the ability to be found by people who are searching.
So this is just people who are going onto Google and putting something into the search like waterless beauty or something like that.
Yes.
And if you want to come up on those sorts of searches, then you need video content on the search engine platforms like YouTube, like Pinterest, and in your own website.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So,
and does video get prioritised, Justina, when on those sorts of Google searches? Will the video come out higher than perhaps a blog or something like that?
Yes, it does. So if you can have your higher performing YouTube video compared to a high performing blog post. The YouTube video has more chances of hitting the page 1 on Google than the blog post would.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there's a higher barrier to entry when it comes to creating a video versus writing a blog post. So that makes the pool of other videos that you're up against to compete for that airtime, for that SEO, those SEO triggers is smaller. And obviously, Google own YouTube, they prioritise videos, so the video then kind of jumps the queue. It's not as simple as just making a video of the blog post and then that will, hit those spots. There's a lot involved with creating YouTube videos that gets that type of recognition. You've got to fully optimize it, and then it also takes time, and you have to build that. So there's no quick magic pill that you can take.
I do know this at the moment as I'm working my way currently through Justina's sort of YouTube boot camp. Actually, there is quite a lot in launching a YouTube. I have to say, it has taken me considerably longer than I had expected, but it will be worth waiting for.
It is a long game, It's not like when if you start a Facebook page and then you can quite quickly grow that page. YouTube is longer. It takes longer. You have to be committed to it for a longer period of time. As long as you know that when you're going into it, then you're not going to feel disheartened when after 3 months of doing stuff, I've still only got a couple of hundred subscribers. I would say that there's no excuse for anyone to not get at least 100 subscribers fairly quickly. It pains me when I see people sitting on 12, 32 subscribers. It doesn't take a lot to get over 100. I mean, it takes effort, but it's really accessible.
Yeah.
Right from there.
Fab. So we've got video. So we should be considering having, or we should really be looking at having video in our searchable content. Where else should we be aiming to put our videos?
So you've got your searchable videos. Then you also want to have video representation in what I call your community sector. So community videos are mainly your social media videos. So wherever you're prioritising your social, I'm assuming for your audience it's probably going to be Facebook, Instagram, maybe some on LinkedIn, but probably mainly those two. If you have any younger people in your audience, then maybe Snapchat, but I tend to not really talk about Snapchat much.
I don't either.
Yeah, that's it. I don't. It's generally less used in my audience. Probably Twitter's as well, not particularly one that your audience might look at. So those two, the Facebook and Instagram, are going to be your hottest places to be. So community content is talking to an audience who have already decided to connect with you. So when you're doing a live on your Facebook page, it's going to be seen by people who have some connection with you already, people that have already shown an interest in your Facebook page, or are perhaps a friend of someone who has connected with you and has an interest or has seen you through somewhere else. So they're generally people that have had some type of introduction to you already. So you are speaking to that person differently. You can be a little bit more familiar with them. You can jump into content a bit knowing that someone doesn't need a fresh introduction to you. You still would do those kind of colder audience videos, but less of them. So when you're doing lives, these are very sociable. You want people to interact, and again, they're mainly people that have already had some idea that you are someone in their connection. So social videos also would be all of your stories as well, which are really nice behind the scenes kind of content where you're kind of opening up a bit of your life or your process or your products, the unboxings or whatever it is, things, what's going on with your orders, or you have some PR opportunity and you'd be on your story saying, I'm about to go in and see so-and-so. So it's a much more familiar place to that's what you're engaging as a community on your social media platform. You can also have community content on your YouTube channel. So your behind the scenes footage, or your day in the life of, or a vlog style even, those things that are not being triggered by searchable. So if you, for example, it might be that your title for that video on YouTube could be the day I went to meet my day at X conference, let's say, or when I came to some workshop or something that you're going to give a bit of your own personal view on. That's not necessarily going to be a search term that someone's going to actually type in, but it is going to be rewarding content to the community that you're already building there. So it's kind of like a reward, it's content which your community are going to appreciate, and those can also be things when you're opening up your own personal experiences, saying, this is really tough business to be in, and this week's just been really hard because this has fallen through, or this has happened, or whatever it is. They're things that an audience who already know you are going to love having, because they just feel that, they feel a much deeper connection with you. So having community content is really important. And community content videos are usually the videos that people have the most of, or that's where you start, because it's the
the only thing of, which is only community videos. And of course, what we're doing today is a community. What we're doing here is a Facebook Live. That's part of my community video strategy. So it's quite interesting. And for a lot of the guys who are out there in the beauty, the guys who are in the community here and working with these brands, a lot of what they put out is that community strategy. And I think it's really interesting because, like me, they probably don't realise or don't appreciate the other areas where the video content should be coming in, like the searchable content. And I'm sure there's another place where you're going to tell us, isn't there? Two others.
So then the third place that you want to work towards having video representation in is, of course, all of your sales videos. So that incorporates many things. So that might be your webinar, if any of your, I'm thinking that maybe less relevant. I'm not sure if your guys would do webinars, but even like testimonials, those are sales tools. That's a sales video. There's very specific formulas that you want to follow when you want someone to do a video testimonial for you. And of course, a sales page video. So if you have a page that you direct people to make that sale, having a video on there. Of course, that can be you, or it can be your product. It can be a mixture of both. And then when you track back from that, it might be that, how do you get someone to your sales video? We all know as business owners, I'm sure this is what you teach also, is that you don't immediately want to make the offer of getting into bed with someone. You have to woo them, take them on a date or two first, buy them a box of chocolates and some roses, and then say, should we go to bed? So that's before the sales page video. you've got to decide what your lead magnet's going to be, and you can use video there too. So as promotions to whatever, how you're introducing someone into that sale. So if you're either going to have, you can still run, you know, the challenges, or you might still have training videos, how to use your products, you know, how to get these results from your products. Those can become lead magnet videos for you. So you can have the lead, then you can have a sales funnel of videos. So you might have your promo video that you would put splash everywhere. That's, hey, I'm doing this, I've got this special offer, you're getting 3 for the price of 2, or whatever it is, or I'm releasing this brand new training that's going to show you how to use these products more effectively. Those kind of promo videos you would have. And then when someone signs up, the best thing to do then on that sign up page is then to have another video where you're like, oh, I'm so glad that you clicked here now. Next to me, that you're going to see a box where you just need to pop in your email details, and then pop over to your inbox, click the yes, I agree to GDPR, whatever it is. So the idea here is that you want to have as many of those touch points. You want to insert videos, because the more often someone sees you, hears you, or sees your product, hears about your product, you're triggering all of that becoming really familiar with them. And as I said earlier, that familiarity breeds a trust, and it breeds you wanting to actually have that thing. You kind of, it just makes it more alluring, makes it more compelling to buy. So there's all of that. That's that whole sales environment of videos, but hardly an end to how you can use the video in that sales process. But all of those kind of videos fall into sales.
I'm taking copious notes here. I hope you all are too, guys, because not only are you telling us where we should be putting our video, but you're giving us so many ideas, Justine, of what we could be doing in our video, which is one of the problems that we sometimes are like faced with. It's like, yeah, we know we should be doing video, but what on earth do our people want to hear about? So thank you for throwing in so many examples of the things we could be doing as well. So what's our fourth area that we need to do?
Yes, the fourth area is it's more quality over quantity, really. So this is your branding. So you want to have a branding video or 2 or 3, but these are typically higher quality videos. So when you're at the point where you might want to invest money in your video, this would be the one to start with. This, along with some of your sales ones, are the best ones to start with. But you can still do this all on your own, but you would just want to take more time over making this video. So this video could be the video on the home page of your website. It can also be your origin story video. So you, as the founder of your products, and this will sit on your about page. This is this is nice as an interview setup. So when you're looking off camera and there's someone asking you questions, and that someone can be an imaginary person. It doesn't have to actually be anyone. But it's just that it has more of that documentary feel.
Yeah.
And you can put those questions, you either work those questions into your answer, or you can have them on screen. You can have on screen text coming up saying, what made you decide to do this business? And then you just talk about answering that question. Because I would guess most of the people here started their business for a reason. Was that reason because you suffered with the thing that you found the solution to? And that's the item or the system that you are now selling because it worked for you, because it solved a problem that you had. It could be even that it was because you were you found yourself as needing to have extra money each month, and this was the thing that you could do that worked around your day job or around your family. So there's always going to be a story to why you got started, and guess what, we love stories. We want to know what that story is. That makes us like you all the more. It gives us history behind the product. When you you know, when you go to the supermarket and you pick something up off the shelf and, you know, you turn it over and there's like a story like, you know, these coffee beans were picked by this village and, you know, the guys there, they're saving up to build their village schoolhouse and, blah, 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 you know, or the founder of this, that, you know, you start noticing products that give you some of their founding story and notice how you behave or how your emotional attachment to that. Odds are that you're going to connect with it that much more, unless it's out of alignment with your personal values. But it just makes you want the product more, makes you like it, makes you more connected with it. So you can have that founder story, that origin story on your about page, and that's the branding video. So another branding video actually is the trailer of your YouTube channel, because that also has a longer shelf life. It's often the first meeting of the person who's tuned in. So, which is the same effect as someone coming onto your website, homepage. It's that first connection, that first real time out that person has spent learning about this. Is that an airplane picking up the
It must be. It's the fan on the computer kicking in, probably.
Oh, okay. It's dying down now. It's dying down. That's right. It's one of the things that when I'm filming with professionally with my clients, the amount of times we have to stop. We're like, oh, there's an airplane going over.
You don't realise how much noise there is around you until you start to try and record a video. There's the times I've had to do this, and it's like, seriously, who has started a lawnmower now? I'm 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Not fair.
DIY in the neighbours, the local.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Yeah.
So where did we get to? We talked about video being in 4 places, in areas that can be found on searches.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the need for it to be within your community, which essentially is your social media kind of content marketing. Your need to have it within your sales functions and your sales strategies. And we were just finishing off talking about it being in your branding, so using it as an opportunity to tell your story or your YouTube sort of video that goes on there.
Yeah. So on your homepage, it could be just about the products. So it might be, you know, those, you know, nice images. If you're getting professional photography, that can go in there. You might have that headline text over that as a video. Yeah. And it's short. You know, those, apart from the origin story, that can be longer.
Yeah.
But the video that's on your homepage, likewise with the video that's on your YouTube trailer, the one that also plays when someone new comes and has a look at your channel, they are typically shorter, so like 60 to 90 seconds, and you're immediately connecting with your viewers and connecting into what their pain points are and the solutions that you provide, and then throwing in a little bit of your credibility.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, and so many ideas as well. Thank you so much. Now, we were talking yesterday about the sort of the 2 reasons why people can avoid and put off embracing video in their marketing strategy. And we said that one of those was definitely a confidence issue. And what did we say the second one was?
Technical fit.
That's right. Technical. Now, I've had a few questions come in from people, but what I was going to ask you to do first of all is just, what are your top tips when it comes to being confident and doing video, and you know, when it comes to what tech we need to do it? What's your sort of expert opinion top tips for us?
Yeah, sure. So when it comes to confidence, if a great place to start with your videos actually is doing live video, but you don't have to go straight into somewhere where you're being seen. You can create your own private Facebook group where no one else is. I think you have to invite one other person in order to be able to open up a Facebook group, but then you can invite them and it can be just you. And you just practice, do it on your own. No one's watching, it's just you. And you can make all of those mistakes of, you know, oh, am I here? You know, should I change this? can you hear me? Which way round does it need to be if you're on a mobile? You can test out your headphones. You can just like do all of those silly things that you've become fearful of. And then you can just start talking and play back and watch yourself. And that just, because a lot of the time it is actually just that fear of making a fool of yourself. Like you're going to get on a live and you're just going to just muck it up. But there is no real muck it up, because at the end of the day, you can just delete it. And if you are first starting anyway, it's unlikely there's really going to be very many people showing up to see you. So what you can do also to help your confidence is, one of the things that I talk about a lot is that you need to look at the lens, not at yourself, and to really get that.
Now I think we've got.
Oh, you've frozen. Hello. So I'm just on live. I can see you. We're back.
We're both back.
Excellent.
Oh gosh.
Are we still
Sorry about that, guys. I've come back with an echo, so I'm going to talk less. But I'm just going to come back to Justine and just say we're on top of it, weren't we? So come over to you.
Yeah, so I was talking about confidence, and one of the things that is a big mistake that many people make is not actually looking at the lens and looking at themselves. And that can actually, if you're feeling uncomfortable on camera, looking at yourself can make you feel more self-conscious. So if you just either put a post-it note over the image of yourself, or open another browser, so that's the browser that's in front of the image of yourself if you're on your desktop. So then you just focus on the lens, and that can help you feel more confident as well. Some people find it easier to start with recorded video instead of live video, from a confidence point of view, because then you can play around with it a lot more. The danger is that you get stuck in that perfectionism cycle and you just keep retaking and retaking. And so what I would say to that is that you need to abide by the 3-time rule. So you just deliver it once, deliver it twice. By the time you get to third, you just keep going and you don't stop. And that's, because you can just keep saying, oh no, I didn't say that right, let me try again. And if you're on a live, you don't do that, you just keep going. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to make sense. So when we're talking in normal conversation, if you stumble on a word, you don't go, oh, let me start from the beginning of that sentence. You just correct the word you stumbled on, or you laugh about it because you're like, well, why did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. What I meant to say was, and you treat it in that more conversational manner, even when you're pre-recording. Pre-records don't have to be perfect. They just have to make sense. And on confidence, do things like wear something that you feel good in, do your hair and makeup. Even I've got clients who will always go and get their hair blown out by the hairdresser before they batch film their own videos, because just get in that zone. And the other thing when it comes to confidence on camera is it's really easy for your energy levels to dip because it's just you and a camera. So really be aware of finding ways to lift your energy, and those can be even things like putting your hands up in the air. That raises your energy. I like to do the like look away and back to camera. That really helps. So you kind of look away smile, and then come back to the camera with a fresh smile and deliver your sentence. So there's lots of tricks like that, things that have in water next to you as well. So some of those real things that we worry about, you can eliminate as well. So technology is the other thing that we get scared of, and we can use as an excuse to not get started on video. But, I've got to wait till I get my new ring light, or I think I've got to wait till I get the next camera, or I just don't know about this, that, and the other. Really, there is nothing that will stop you. If you've got a smartphone, if you've got a computer, there's no reason why you can't make videos. You can use whatever you've got already in your house. So if I have a lot of poor lighting, I do have lights, but if I didn't, all I'd have to make sure I'm doing is having all the curtains or blinds open and making sure that I'm filming during the brightest time of the day, and I just face the light, so the light's always in front of you. So the things that make the biggest impact making a good video is a lot to do with your framing and positioning of your camera or your lens, whether that's a smartphone, laptop, desktop. And that doesn't cost anything. That just takes a little bit of time and effort. All you're doing is moving the thing that you're going to be filming on around. And that's it. Even if you don't have a tripod, just move your lens and secure it somewhere with blue tack or some bit of sellotape, even elastic bands. Pile up books, whatever you need. Just look around you. If you've got a bedside lamp next to your bed, you can use that as a light. Yes, they're not ideal, but when you're at that entry level, it really is fine. What you want, even the things like your framing makes a big difference. So something that I see a lot of people do will be, they're like this and they're talking. Now that's not very professional. You can see the top of my background there. It's just paper stuck on the wall, by the way. But framing, now I'm back there, so much more professional, and that's just paying attention. There's nothing there. So when it comes to technology, you don't need to worry about it at all. So that's the filming. So then editing, also part of technology. That's something that people get really stuck on as well. So you can make editing as simple or as complicated as you feel ready for. So to start with, just do bookending. So just work at just snipping out the beginning and the end. What that means is you do, when you're filming, want to make sure you have a full run. But if you do that 3 times full and you treat it as a live, so you just keep going, then you don't have lots of edits to do. And there are apps that you can use on your phone that are really inexpensive. Some are even free. If you're using a Mac, you can use iMovie. That will just come with your software. So it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. With any new bit of software, there is going to be some type of learning curve, but it can be really simple. You're spending half an hour, just reading the instructions, following the things it tells you to do, playing around with it, not being scared of it is the biggest thing. And then you'll be fine. That's all you need to do to get started.
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Now, I am very, very echoey, but I've got 2 questions that have come in that I think would be really useful. So from the point of view of beauty brands, Melissa has asked, could you give any good tips on how to make a really good product demo video, sort of in your own kitchen or bathroom when you're on your own?
Yeah, so that's great. Product demos are really good video to have for you. So if you're on your own, if you have a tripod, I'd say use a tripod. That can be a tripod that you put on a worktop. It doesn't have to go from the floor. And then position yourself. There's 2 shots that you can get, or if you play around with where your shot is, you can get yourself and the product. You could just do it with your hands, the product, and your voice. So that's kind of down to what your preference is. So it would work just fine recording you talking it through and just seeing your hands. It depends what you're demonstrating. If it's something then that you need to put on your face, obviously you need to then show your face. So You are, for that type of video, if you're going to have those 2 shots, that does mean you have some editing. So if you want to eliminate or minimize your editing, then you want to try and have all the things that you would be doing in the one frame, in that one shot. So if it's a facial product, then you will want to sit somewhere where in the frame you're getting yourself the table with products. So then when you have your camera in front of you, you can pick up the product, you can talk about it. Obviously be mindful that you're not putting it in front of your face, that you're holding it to the point of view of the camera, like it's a person sat there that you're talking to. And then you would then, say if you're putting something onto a cotton wool, you would be showing the camera, what you're doing. So what you want to do is kind of do everything slower than you would think in real life. So when you're putting a product somewhere, or if you're rubbing something into your hands or onto your face or onto something else, that you are doing it slightly slower, so then the viewer can actually see what you're doing and take time to show the camera the consistency, how it comes out of the applicator, this kind of thing. Now, if you feel confident enough, then what you can do, and if you're happy to cut something into your edit, you can do what's called cutaways. So if you are just showing your product, so you pick the product up from the table and go, so I'm going to show you today how to use the new makeup remover, and here it is. Then you can do a cutaway afterwards where you just have you take your camera and you just have the product on its own on a close-up. And then you can do something, you can just like move it around nicely and slowly like that. And then you can have that's actually then called B-roll. And when you get, and this is the exciting thing about filming products, is that there's so much more you can do. It's really exciting. And as you're growing your B-roll, that can be used in other videos as well. So you could even plan a day of just filming B-roll, just filming your product in lots of different scenarios. And then that just means you have to understand how to cut it into your edit. It's really not rocket science. But kind of don't be scared of editing. Seriously, it's a really fun, creative process. Once you get your mind over not being scared of it, there's nothing that you can't undo in an edit. So yeah, don't be scared of that. But does that answer the question? I feel like I've gone around the houses a little bit.
No, I think it does. And when we're talking about tripods, you've got one behind you, which is a brilliant example. So yes. You can handle those. You can come on extendable legs, of course. And I've got one that I use. I picked it up off Amazon, and it really wasn't very expensive. And it even came with a Bluetooth starter button, so I didn't have to press the button on my phone anymore. It goes on Bluetooth app kind of thing. So there are really good stuff out there to do this.
Yeah, that's it. There's the kit is really not expensive, but you don't need a lot to start. So if you're going to do some close-ups of your products, filming with your phone, just go really slowly. And when you're holding your phone, try to tuck your elbows in so you've got as much stability in your hand, and just go really slowly. And kind of even if you don't move your hands, so you're holding your phone, and actually just rock your body like that, you'll get a smoother of that product. And things like so if you're planning to do a product video, you would start by planning what you want to say, or whether you're verbally saying, or maybe you're saying it with text on screen. You could do either. You want to work out what that is first, and then you plan what shots you want to have for that, to tell that story. That could be in the bathroom doing something, or throwing the thing into your handbag, or then you build up lots of those shots. Or you might just make a nice arrangement of all the products on a worktop. Obviously, clear away what's behind so it kind of looks attractive, and you might just have that shot of the products that maybe you're moving into or pulling out from, and then you build up those images to match what the messages that you're saying, that you're getting across text or verbal.
Oh my God, it's such good advice. I saw a brand called Whittaker in London actually doing something really interesting with their videos. So go and check out I think it's on the Instagram TV, and they're filming themselves in a mirror. And it looks really, really good. And they do all their product demos with the camera behind them and their face reflected back into the camera in the mirror. And it looks really, really cool. Quite a simple idea. So go check it out, everybody. That's worth having a look at. Next question came in from Heather. Heather uses an iPad or an iPhone and wants to know what was the best external mic.
Sorry, say that again.
The best external mic. The best iPad or an iPhone.
Yeah. So the mics that come with the iPhones or iPads, the mics come with. I think it's just the iPhone they come with. But anyway, the Apple headsets the mics that come with that are actually already really good quality. But obviously there are restrictions because you're seeing the headpiece and you might not want that if you're on camera. So there's a brand called, in fact, I'm just about to buy one, called a Panda mic. And I haven't tested it yet, but I think it's going to be a really good one. But really, when it comes to mics, the entry level, like the cheapest that you get on Amazon, are still really good quality. So I bought one a couple of years ago that it was less than a tenner, I think, and it only packed up a couple of months ago, and it was really good quality. So with mics, you can just get a cheap mic and it works absolutely fine. You want to think about noticing how long the cable is. So if you want to be stood a couple of meters from where you're filming, you want to check that cable is going to be long enough. If it's not, you can buy mics that have extra long cables, but you can also buy extensions for the cables. So if you want to be a really long way, you can have an extension. And if you've got the new iPhones that don't have the audio port, the jack, the little jack that goes in there, then I think they've come with a converter that you just pop in and then you still use the mics. So yeah, it's really simple and not expensive at all to have that. And that applies to not just iOS, but for Android phones as well.
Oh, brilliant. That's excellent. Thank you. So I'm conscious that I don't want to speak, but can you tell us, Justine, where we can find you? And I believe that you might have a challenge going on at the moment that people could join you with.
Yes, so I would love for your viewers to come and join me on Instagram in particular. That's actually, at the moment, that's one of my favourite places to be. I'm trying to grow my following on Instagram, so please come and follow me on Instagram. You can find me by just searching Justine Rosu video. Rosu is spelt like Rose, but instead of an E, it's a U at the end, so R-O-S-U, Justine Rosu video. And yes, I have a challenge at the moment that I'm promoting, and the challenge is I'm giving a mini training series, obviously video, and then with those tools that I'll be teaching you, the challenge part is my challenge to you, or my mission then to give to you, is to create a video which is in the style of a TV program. So obviously my background being television, I thought this would be fun, and there's 4 different categories. So it's either a news report, or a segment of a documentary, a comedy sketch, or a did I say drama? Yeah, no, or a drama segment, drama, documentary, comedy, or news report. It has to be relevant to your business. So then you'll enter your video, and then there's prizes and whatnot. And the reason I've decided to do it in that way is because I want to get people feeling creative and not getting bogged down into that, oh, how am I going to say this, how am I going to say that, and just not taking action, but to actually see videos, this amazing creative format, and I'm pushing those boundaries for you, but also it's giving you the permission to play with video and to see it as something you can play with. And if you're new to video or you're scared of video, this is the perfect way to kind of make a fool of yourself intentionally. So it's like, no, but it was meant to be like that. So it could be, you're writing on you're shuffling your papers. And on the news today, we're going to be talking about this brand new product that has just been launched by Becky Jones. Over to you, Becky. And then you're like, yes, and we have launched this new product today, and it's going to be released in shops tomorrow. And the reason why your viewers want to get this, John, and so you're having fun, or it's a comedy sketch, or whatever it is. It's a way of you saying your business proposition through doing something that's just a bit fun. And then you can include your community. You can say, guys, support me. I'm really scared of video, but I've been, someone's made me do this challenge, so I'm going to be doing this. So, please come and support me, whether that's encouraging you when you're thinking, what am I doing this for? Or whether it's once you've entered, if you want to win, you have to get likes on that video, because I'll be publishing them on my channel. And then you can win a free place to my program, or one-to-one, or a starter kit and the prices. So that's the reasoning behind it. So it'd be great to get as many of you as possible involved in that challenge. Obviously, it's free training anyway, to give you the tools to take part in the challenge. And of course, at the end of all of that, there's, I will be launching a program to teach video. I haven't decided. I'm playing around actually. I've pulled apart the courses that I've delivered, and I'm putting it together in a slightly different way. But that will be something that I'll be selling at the end of it. But the challenge is great. It'll be really helpful for everyone involved. So yeah, that would be my.
I love the sound of that, and I hope loads of you go out and get involved in that. So I will be posting the link to Justine's Instagram.
Right. Lovely.
Justine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, so much information, so much advice, so many ideas. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you to everyone also who joined us live. Anybody watching on catch up, post your questions, tag us there, we'll answer them. So it's absolutely awesome to have you. Thanks, Justine.
Loads of indie hugs and love. See you soon. Bye.